get a little high from the fentanyl, bite down. Pray to the east, don't pray where you eat. Gon' be what it be when it's lights out. Flag on the plate, no time outs. Niggas tryna catch it.
Yo, what's up, outside world? Welcome to In the Land, a podcast. Thank y'all so much for coming to our last episode where we had the legendary chairman Fred Hampton Jr. Super appreciate any any subscription, any comment, any just view that people give us. Please keep running that episode up. But about this new episode, we have an amazing artist, amazing entrepreneur, Negro. Definitely have seen her doing her thing. She asked to be on our show, and we was like, of course, you know what I'm saying? We love when people ask to be on our show. So please clap it up for as hard as you can for the artist, Cheeckey! Chicago, nigga! We'll throw that in there somewhere. How you doing, man?
I am great.
Good to see you.
I'm good.
Yes,
nice to see you as well.
Okay. So I feel like I ain't gonna waste too much time. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want to say I've seen you doing your thing. I appreciate you even wanting to be on the show.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think we got a lot to talk about. But how you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, man. It's peak of, well, it's about to be peak of summertime shy, right? So
yeah,
we about to start getting a lot of the events. The city's about to start juking again, and you're gonna see the people outside. So I hope it's a better summer, a hotter summer, a longer summer. You know, a great summer for everybody in the city as well.
Understood. So, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just jump right into my couple of questions. You know what I'm saying? I think the first one I wanted to talk about was kind of your starter story, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you've been one of those artists and creatives that have been moving and grooving, and I feel like people are still learning their story. And so just from the homework I have seen, you have quite extensive history with HBCUs.
Yes.
Being an athlete.
Yes.
But also grinding it out all at the same time. Kind of like Killer Mike shit. You weren't selling drugs though. So my question is, what was that process of being in school? You know, you have these certain levels that you're at, being at an HBCU, mm-hmm. but you still going through the grind. Like, what was that like, and what brought you to your next step?
Yeah, so honestly, first and foremost, God, you know what I'm saying? Like, the whole situation, if I wasn't tapped in with him, I probably wouldn't have made it through everything that I went through in my younger college years, my younger adulthood. So honestly, it was that, and just understanding I couldn't stop. You know what I'm saying? It's like once you stop fighting, it's hard to. It's not impossible, but it's a challenge. You know what I'm saying? It's a challenge to get back up and feel confident about what you want to do in the future or that next step. It could really, mental health and stuff is serious. You know what I'm saying? So when you don't know how to be a self-advocate, so that was one of the things that really helped me, was the fact that I kept God first, and I just was determined. I was determined for my next day or my tomorrow to not be like my today.
Understood. Are you from Chicago?
Originally, no.
Okay. Let's talk about that a little bit.
So I'm born and raised in Indianapolis.
Y'all cousins.
Yeah, we cousins. But my mother is from here, and most of my family, the Great Migration, came from Mississippi and then up here. So in Louisiana, so Kentucky, all of those, those southern states. But yes, I'm originally from Indianapolis, Indiana. I lived there until I graduated high school. Left high school, went to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I attended Southern University, A&M College. But, I've been here for, honestly, throughout childhood, I was back and forth. Like, I remember going to the gardens and going to barbecues because my uncle stayed there. And then my auntie stayed off of, Elizabeth? Yeah, she stayed off of Elizabeth. I think it was like 72nd or something like that.
Oh, you was definitely.
Yeah, so and then my granny, she stayed in Roseland for a little bit too. So, it was I was kind of everywhere, you know, without actually being here and not really knowing that I was in the city for real. You know what I'm saying? But once I lived here, I've been living here now for 9 years. So uh, it's been dope, honestly. There's no other city like Chicago. I've lived in 4 other states, and Chicago got it.
So, and let me ask, I want to expound on your college adventure because I feel like there are a lot of folks that don't even look at college as an option.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let alone being able to go to different places, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I feel like there's a certain time in folks' life in Chicago where, you know, you may or may not want to leave.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But you not only left, but again, you were inside of an HBCU.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? What, I guess, advice or even just pointers would you give for young folks that are not only interested in college, but they're interested in an HBCU? I feel like
That's a great question.
you know, there's been a lot of back and forth even since our interesting leader of this country has taken over, you know what I'm saying, as far as just HBCUs and where they stand and just education. So, like, what's some pointers you get?
Well, let me start with just the beginning, right? So originally my high school, I went to North Central High School in Indianapolis, Indiana. It's an international baccalaureate high school. So we could graduate with core academia, core honors, core 40. We had a career center as well where you basically could learn trades. And we could graduate with our associates. Yeah. So the school that I went to was an exceptional school.
Okay.
Southern University, the reason why I chose to go to Southern University is because of the fact that I had already had the experience of a PWI. If most people don't know, that's a primarily white institution, or predominantly white institution, because of the fact that I had the experience in high school. So I was like, I kind of already know what it's like to have to be in an environment where it's a gumbo pot. You know what I'm saying? So I took the opportunity once I got an academic and an athletic scholarship to go to a HBCU because I felt as if that I needed to be around my people. I needed to be around that culture. And it was Louisiana, and my people are, you know, I have Creole in my blood. My great grandmother is Creole. So it was perfect. It was like I got to understand me, you know. I got to understand that side of my family, my grandma's, my great grandmother's people, the culture. The second line, you know, like Sundays in New Orleans, like in Baton Rouge, got to understand the difference between Creole and Cajun food, and you know, like really being in that, and being introduced to jazz and a different type of jazz, like brass band jazz, you know, like Renaissance jazz, and being able to be around that type of music and completely just soak that up like a sponge, you know, like just the club culture down there, like how they support the artists, like just everything it was an experience that I wouldn't change. And for the people out there that are, you know, they're trying to figure out what school they're trying to go to, and you're contemplating about HBCUs, I went to a prestigious HBCU in Louisiana. They've been trying to shut Southern University down for years. You know what I'm saying? It's been in a lot of political things and a lot of civil activist events. And it has like stood tall on all 10, you know? So don't think that a PWI is better than an HBCU when it comes to academia. Like, I feel as if that they are competing, they're head in hand, you know, they're head to head, excuse me, especially when it comes to nursing, you know, and engineering and mechanics and agriculture. HBCUs really have it. You know, everybody knows about the prestigious Morehouse. Everybody knows about prestigious Spelman, you know, Xavier. You know, let the list go on. You know what I'm saying? But academics is never the situation. I think it's people just, I don't know. I don't understand why HBCUs have a negative connotation, or I just don't understand the negativity around it. Choosing a HBCU.
You know, black people, we cold. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Only us make
I mean, yeah, because it's like I experienced it firsthand. I think the only thing that I would say is like, I wish this was better was financial aid. That line is
Hey man,
that line
I'm
is crazy.
personally a fan of not charging people to go to school. I ain't even
Yeah.
gonna hold you. You did say one thing I wanted to speak on
What's
before we
up?
get to our next thing, jazz.
Yes. Oh my
Because
gosh.
Chicago, we definitely have our jazz pioneers, but we also had WNUA 95.5. So
Yeah.
smooth jazz was how I got into jazz. So for the folks that may not know the difference of the type of genre of jazz you're talking about, can you elaborate more on that?
Yeah. I can try to as much as possible. So I gave the Renaissance jazz and then the brass band jazz, because brass band is actually they're an actual band, right? So they have horns that it's horns, but it's an up tempo, it's upbeat. You know, it's almost like bounce music, but so just imagine the bounce tempo or the bounce melody, or the drums, I guess you would say, and then compare that to then the horns and Renaissance jazz, so or brass band. I love both groups, honestly. I'm kind of upset I missed Renaissance jazz or when they came down here, but to me, I feel as if that's the big difference. Smooth jazz doesn't really have a beat tempo. It's real smooth. It's real elegant. It's classy. Yeah, like it's like it's almost like you're coasting.
Yeah.
Smooth jazz. Um, that New Orleans, that Louisiana jazz is a little different.
Gotcha.
It's a little different. It puts a little pep to your step. But the soul is still there. The heart is still there. I love it though. I love everything about it. My experience in Louisiana, I often say, like, if that state wasn't as slow when it came to like businesses opening up, like what time they're opening up and public transportation, how that situation is, and kind of just I guess you could say the modernization of like just the setup, the infrastructure of the cities and the towns. That's one of the things that I'm like, I can't do it. I need something a little bigger, You came here.
So that works. That brings me to my next question. So the next thing I wanted to get into was, because again, I feel like you've been doing so much here, G. I don't know if people give you flowers, but I feel like you really get out there and grind. I feel like you don't just sit around. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you don't have to have like a homie crew to go to something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just go. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that brings me to my next question, which is talking about a platform that you helped create.
Yeah.
Called Creators Playground.
Yes.
And so, again, I think you invited me out to one of them. I couldn't go because I was working, unfortunately. But I remember regretting not being able to go because I was like, damn, like she got, folks in this room that I don't normally see at like events. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like it was like a very dope mixer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be a buck with you. I feel like it was kind of one of the first of its kind, like the type of event it is. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like since I've seen those, I feel like I've seen numerous like events like it, but I feel like it was one of the first. So like, what can you tell us, kind of like about the origins and just if you do have anything coming up, or just like what are the plans in general moving forward with it?
Yeah, great question. Thank you for asking that, and I appreciate that also. You give me my flowers on that. So Creators Playground originated because I was like, hey man, Chicago is so big. The city is so big, right? It's so big and so small at the same time. But there's a lot of talent here, and there's a lot of untapped areas and niches here as well. And sometimes we don't always have those spaces where we can come together and just chop it up, whether if it's about business, whether it's about, hey, I'm finna start working on this, I'm looking for this, I need to do some type of like a FTE, almost like a resource seeking type of situation. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, oh, I'm looking for a videographer. Okay, great. This is a different type of videographer. He might have a different type of style when it comes to color grade than another person. Or this photographer may be a little bit more nostalgic, than something that you're looking for specifically for a project. So I wanted to find those niche areas that people could come to. And plus, I was hosting it at Juggernaut, and Juggernaut's like a major staple. Yeah, shout out to Manny and them, Kenny, all y'all, I love y'all. It's a major staple here, especially when it comes to streetwear in Chicago, and it has a lot to do with the music scene as well. Everybody know that's kind of how the culture works, right? It's fashion, music, art, and sometimes food too. You know, sometimes spirits, or liquor. You know, so it kind of they all kind of intertwine because Chicago somehow is linked. You know, everybody's linked to somebody somehow, even if they don't know it. So that's what I kind of wanted to do, man. I wanted to get like makeup artists and stylists and talent managers, people who are looking for talent out here, you know, executives to come out. You know, we had some swimsuit models come out. We had some graffiti artists that came out and was looking to tag businesses. You know, we just had a wide variety of things. We even had somebody there that was selling yachts, selling boats. You know what I'm saying? So it's such. That's what I'm saying. Is
shout out to Black Yacht Weekend in Chicago.
Yeah, shout out to Nick. No, but yeah, so it's like I wanted to be able to bring those like people together because I know my interests, right? You see me at games, you see me at concerts by myself, you see me at festivals. Yes,
like, I be kind of envious. I'm like, damn, man, I just need to hit her up more. Like, I be like, you be out here like really getting it on some like.
Yeah.
That, I feel like a lot of the experiences you've had, you know what I'm saying, has been because you've just been like in that grind spirit, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to you.
For sure. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm not gonna lie, it's like even the days where I don't want to go and experience something different in Chicago, because every day you can experience something different in Chicago. That's the unique thing about Chicago. You can say, hey, I want to do a spin class on Tuesday at 6:00 and find a class, like a spin art class, like throwing paint at a freaking canvas while you're on a bike. You know what I'm saying? Like they have, like you guys have that here. So I take full advantage of it. You know, orchestras, you know, theater plays. I take full advantage of it. Even I go to Zanies, I go to Laugh Factory, I go to stuff like that by myself. I think it's important for people to be able to tap into themselves and be okay with living with themselves and be comfortable with doing things on their own and being adventurous on their own and not being afraid of, what if. And so I take the opportunity to just enjoy life. There's so many people I've met living here that haven't even experienced the things that I've done myself. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, wow, you went there. I'm born and raised here. I've never been there, you know? And I'm like, you got to get out there. You got to change your routine, change it up, change your scenery up sometimes. Sometimes you don't have to have people to go with you because sometimes other people slow you down. Sometimes you can't get into rooms that you would get into by yourself with another person. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's how I meet some people. You know, I've been able to meet and NHL retired players.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that.
Yeah, like,
you've been
like,
so,
you know,
yeah.
like it. But I just know how to move around. When I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. When I'm ready to move, I'm ready to move. And that's one of the most important things. Like, I don't have nobody that's gonna stop me from being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Facts. Goddamn, that was fire. So that brings me to another question I have, which is about music.
Yeah.
And again, I feel like that's been an interesting journey watching that unfold for you. Again, I feel like you were very vocal on social media about, you know, this transition. And then it was kind of like, you know, again, if people follow your stories, you know what I'm saying, you could be very passionate. I think that's the word I would use on just how the process is and how, you know, being a black woman, you know what I'm saying, doing this, you know, how it has its ups and downs, but you've been making it look real easy. You know what I'm saying? You dropped the singles, you dropped the visuals, you know what I'm saying? I believe you shot and edited most of that yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, you dropped the project. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a 2-part question. So the first part is, what has that been like really getting into your bag with the music? And then the second part is when you was able to play your music for the legendary Don City.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you've talked about that.
No, I haven't.
Oh, damn. Okay. Exclusive. But, again, Very, very dope. And
Yeah.
again, I feel like everything you just explained is kind of a very powerful example of how, fuck what anybody is saying. It's like you can get to that, person, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta move and move accordingly. So yeah, let me know what was that what has been the process with your music and how was it playing your music for Dusty?
Yeah, so my process with my music has been, or the transition even so, has been very interesting. But the journey is beautiful, and yes, I am very passionate sometimes about about things that I may encounter, or some dialogue that may happen. Um, I have been enjoying the journey because it's been testing me in a way that I haven't been challenged before. And I say that it's been testing me or challenging me, I say, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, you know, sometimes physically, because sometimes I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? But then I get up and I get to fight. You know what I'm saying? I get to do what I want to do. But the transition has been interesting because, most people see me, well, they've seen me do event production. They've seen me have creators playground. They see, that I'm also a business owner. And then I also, I'm working. You know what I'm saying? So people are like, so what are you doing? Is this something that you're serious and is this something that you're serious about? Like it's like you have conversations with people that have been doing this music stuff for a long time, and they sitting there and they looking at you like, okay, well, yeah, like how are you making it seem like it's, it was just handed to you, and it's not. Like I've been, and I think that this is where people don't know this history about me, which is totally and completely fine. But I've been in music all my life. I grew up in a church choir. I was in show choir, traveling show choir. I was in a traveling gospel choir. I've been a theater kid. I was a theater kid all the way up until high school because I had to choose between sports and theater. So I chose sports. So it's like I've always been doing this. Like my brother was in a group called TK3 that everybody in Indianapolis, Indiana knew about. Like, all the girls went crazy about them. They made love music, they made gospel music. They just were that type of group. So it's like I will always be there. You know what I'm saying? In the studio with them, seeing their artist development, seeing this, seeing that, being in those meetings with them. You know what I'm saying? And then once I got to Chicago, I had the opportunity to work with other artists. I had the opportunity to get my eyes on things that I had never, I didn't even know existed in Chicago. Be in rooms that I didn't even know I had the ability to be in. You know what I'm saying? But God allowed that to happen. Allowed me to meet those people and give me those opportunities. So it's like now I'm transitioning into like I'm not in anybody's camp. I'm not on anybody's team. I'm more so my team right now. You know what I'm saying? So I started pushing my music. I've always been writing music. I used to burn all my books when I was growing up. Like I used to have books of poetry, rhymes, stuff like that, and then I would just burn them because I would be like, I'm not gonna finish. I'm not, not even thinking that when I got older, I was gonna actually just be like, okay, let's just do it. Mm-hmm. So it took until last year where I think it was probably like mid-January 2025. I was sitting in the crib and I had heard the instrumental, can't remember what the instrumental was, but I heard the instrumental and then a rap just came to me. And I wrote it down. And then I started doing more research and I started talking to King 7. And that's my dog. So I was talking to him, he probably mad at me right now, but I was talking to him, I'm like, hey yo, like how can I get some more beats? You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh well, just look up, different platforms you can just kind of get free beats from right now. Because if you do YouTube, everybody gonna have that. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, cool. So I did my research, found BeatStars. And then that's how Let Me Know came about with Luxury Beats. And then I was still trying to find my sound then with Let Me Know. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I'm like, I don't know. That ain't really me. But I dropped it anyway because sometimes songs that you don't like are your hits. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because you just never know what the listeners want to listen to. You never know what somebody's ear hasn't heard before. So why not drop it? You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to go the route of I want to drop stuff on SoundCloud. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to go that route. I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm just saying, like, I wanted to actually put my music out there and not be afraid of the criticism and not be afraid of the comments, and you know what I'm saying? So I took that leap, and everything that came from it has been a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was like I just kept working on my music. I kept working on my music, and the songs that I dropped on the EP, I had created them in February and March, and was just working on them, and I recorded them with Dr. Mindbender in one day.
Hey, shout out Dr. Mindbender.
Yeah, shout out. It's Doc's birthday today too, y'all.
Oh damn! Happy birthday,
Yeah,
Dr. Mindbender.
happy birthday.
Right?
Yeah, he 44 today. My bad, G. I ain't mean to put your age out there.
Well, damn. Okay,
Yeah, shout out to Doc.
God
But
damn.
yeah, so I connected with Doc, and I booked a 4-hour session. I swear we recorded all 4 songs, one session, boom, dropped it. 2 weeks. That's literally how that went.
God damn. So okay, so then it went from,
Cause I did 4 months of practicing in the crib,
right,
recording on BandLab and on my headphones, so I already knew what I wanted it to sound like. I played him the drafts, and I was like, I want it to sound like this. And he was like, all right, cool, boom. And recorded me, punched me in.
All right, so talk us through when you got to play music for Don C.
Yeah, okay, cool, bet. So I got to play too much for Don C. So it was an event that he was dropping. It was the RSVP and oh my gosh, how am I? Hustle. I think it was RSVP. No, it wasn't RSVP and Hustle, but it was a collaboration with RSVP and someone else. It was an exclusive drop that he was doing, and I had pulled up there. Sorry, Don C, I can't remember what the drop is.
No, I feel like I remember exactly.
I can't remember.
Like
it was a black piece of clothing.
For some weird reason, but it was like one of those pop-up galleries.
Yeah,
like
but
situation.
no, it was an exclusive drop, but I
Okay.
can't remember who he was dropping with or collaborating with at that time. But I know that it was a black piece that had dropped. The thing is like I had been trying to tap in with Don. The first time I ever had met Don was at Soho, and I rapped about it in Too Much. So I met Don C originally at Soho in 2023. I met him and his wife at the J Ivy when J Ivy won the when I won the Grammy. Yeah, shout out to J Ivy. So I slid to that party. I got put on the guest list because it was just me. So I went up there, and Happy was there. Shout out to Happy. Happy was there, and he was like, "You met Don?" Because he know that at the time I was wearing Just Don so much. You know what I'm saying? And I still rock Just Don, but at the time it was like that was all I was wearing. You know what I'm saying? So Happy was like, you got on his stuff. Don't say what's up. Like, he cool. And I was like, nah, I don't, like, he's at a party. He's here to celebrate. I'm one of them type of people. Like, I pick and choose when I really want to speak to people, depending on the time, the place, the environment, how many people is around. You know, people get overwhelmed when a lot of people and a lot of stuff is going on. Yeah. And then, they're not as locked in when they're overstimulated. You know what I'm saying? Or if something is going on because they're watching, they're looking, they're trying to make sure whoever they're with, at the time he was with his wife, his significant other, so, he wanted to make sure she was okay. So I didn't want to overwhelm him being a woman coming up and interrupting, like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So Happy's like, all right, I'm like, nah, he with his wife. I don't want her to be looking at me crazy, even though, and then he was like, nah, I got you. I get what you're saying. I'm gonna go ahead and, give you the bridge, basically. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we walk up to him. He's like, hey, what's up? And he's like, oh, what's up, Happy? You know what I'm saying? He introduced me. He's like, it's Cheeckey. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to meet him. So then the next time I saw him, my homie was working at his store at the time. So I had pulled up to the store because he was like, my homie told me, like, oh, they having a sale. I was like, all right, bet, I'm gonna come up there and see what I want. I ended up going up there to get some glasses, but he was in store that day. So I was like, hey, like, I would love to give you some of my product. So then I had the opportunity to come back, drop some product off, and that's when he posted my product. So I'm stamped by Don C with my product too. I was able to give him and his wife a jar of my body butter. So that's how that started. And I didn't even know.
Get to that too.
Yeah, I didn't even know how I missed it, but I almost missed the post. So, and then somebody called me and was like, Don C just posted you. I'm like, what? They're like, I swear, go look at his story. And I was on the story and I was like, dang, that's crazy. So then after that, I ended up seeing him again. So it was like more like a reoccurring thing. I just kind of like kept building that, and I didn't want to ask for anything. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to be like, oh, hey, I'm doing this. I'm trying to do this. No, it was like, no, I wanted to gift him. I wanted to respect his space. I wanted to respect his boundaries, and then kind of build that rapport like that. But, yeah. So then it was the day of the collaboration. I pulled up there, and I was like, hey, you know, it was when everybody was kind of like drinks was flowing, everybody was chopping it up. He was kind of just chilling, and I was like, hey, I just dropped my single, and I mentioned you in it. You know, the first time I actually met you, you like, word, play it. And I was like, word? He was like, yeah, play it.
Type shit, as you should. Goddamn.
Yeah, and I was like, okay. And he hooked it up and played it. And he was like, that's hard. You know what I'm saying? So that whole, I say every time, even when I say it, I'm saying it out loud, it just seems so surreal. Because it was, it seems so surreal. Because it's like, Don C is such a man. He's such a pivotal person in the culture, man. When it comes to just everything, like Ye, Virgil, like Louis, like it gets deep with with Don C. He's one of them ones, yeah.
And I mean, the fact that you was even able to do that, I mean, that brought me to another question I had, which is about fashion.
Yeah.
Because again, I don't think people understand the many levels it is to fashion. I feel like because, in the world you can go to, what is that? Forever 21, I think online, or what else am I thinking of?
Fashion Nova.
There we go, Fashion Nova.
There's
nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Fashion Nova. Shout out, all of them joints. You know what I'm saying? But, Chicago is a just standing ground for fashion.
Yes, it's for sure a fashion hub.
You know what I mean? When you think about Juggernaut, when you think about Leaders, when you think about St. Alfred's, when you think about Success, you know what I'm saying? All of these platforms, Inglewood branded,
Stock Boy, Fashion Geek,
you know what I mean? Like
Gravy. Let's go on. Madison and Harlem.
Your love for fashion, because I feel like that's been something. I can say this. I feel like you definitely are one of the most flyest folks.
I appreciate that.
That are walking around right now. And that's not even on some, she dresses great for a woman. It's like, nah, gang. Like, she got some stuff on you don't even know the name too. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
I remember that era in the Chicago blog era where it was like, you know what I'm saying, you had to come out and have, the latest APCs or, nudie jeans or, you know what I'm saying? Like, but your style is a lot more evolved. So tell us how you got into fashion.
Yeah.
How that became like a part of your character. Because I feel like that definitely speaks a lot to your aesthetic in general.
Yeah, I'm over here laughing because I was just talking to me and my mom was just talking about this the other day. I've been like this all my life. I've been very unorthodox. I like to break the chains. Like if I have to come business casual, okay, great. I'm gonna come business casual, but I don't look different than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Or even going to church, like it was. And then I'm gonna go back to adulthood. But as a child, I used to have this 2-piece set from Mary Kate and Ashley. Mary Kate and Ashley used to have their own clothing line. It was a floral set, but it had ruffles. It was like a straight fit skirt that was pink with flowers on it, and then it had like a mermaid bottom, and then the shirt had like basically the same type of like mermaid look on the hands, but it was long. You know how everybody wearing their shirts long,
right? And
it was a button up, but it was green with flowers on it. But the flowers on the skirt and the shirt were the same color, and I wanted to wear that outfit every Sunday. When it came to she used to want to beat me. I'm cracking up. But for real, my mom used to chase me around the house. Like, are you finna get a whooping? Because I wanted to put that outfit on every Sunday. Like, she used to be like, no, I'm gonna get her. But now I think it's more so like I grew up, like growing up in Indiana, we were very sport oriented in Indiana, and corn fed. It's not a lot to do in Indiana, right? So, you look back on the history of sports in Indiana, then you go to the vintage shops, the vintage stores, you go to, the Goodwills and stuff like that, and you see all the memorabilia, all the old sports stuff. I used to cop all of that stuff. I used to wear all of that stuff, like dunk, like all of that. I would just, I that's just how I was, because I was an athlete. So me wearing super girly clothes, all this other stuff, I was not like that. I used to go thrifting and go find something, you know what I'm saying, like old Charlottes or oh yeah, like, so even the old I had so many old Pacer stuff and Hornets, man, it's crazy. But I think it started from there, because then I start tapping more into that 90s style. And then I started to see like the colors. I started to see the different type of textures they were wearing. I got into Dapper Dan. I ended up getting I got a certificate from Yellow Brick. I did, like, I took a fashion course with Yellow Brick.
That's fine.
Yeah, so I kind of been, just learning a little bit more about the fashion situation of the scene as I got older. And then I had the opportunity when I moved here, I got to meet the Brandy Penelopes. I got to meet the Fashion Geek Zoes, him and Dane, and what they got with, Ghetto Runways, and I got to chop it up with the Corys, with Gravy, and get his, see his vision and stuff like that. So being here and then living in Louisiana, that has a whole different style too. And then, seeing how they dress, especially in New Orleans, they have a whole different style, like, and then being able to come here and then see how everybody, I just see kind of everybody pull from different people, but then make it their own. It just made me feel a lot more comfortable, especially moving here, to really express how I wanted to express myself through dressing, through clothes. I have no boundaries when it comes to my clothes. The only thing I'm a little iffy on is cleavage and showing my butt and stuff like that. But outside of that, I try to stay, close to modest. But
look, that's cool, because I feel like, what I'm saying, the weirdos, they may see your name and, think you like,
yeah, I get that a lot.
Like,
yeah,
how can I word this?
That my name is correlated to my butt.
They may think, you might be like other folks that have, gotten very, like, they've done this work and they've received, positive reinforcement. What I'm saying? But then you got folks like yourself that, you don't feel like you gotta do all that to be raw. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's a very unique lane.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? For that, on some, there's not a lot of, I'm not even gonna say women. I feel like it's guys too. Like, guys can be light skinned. You know what I'm saying? Especially in that demeanor where it's like you just, trying to show off or whatever, which is cool. But it's a way you could do it in a subtle way where it's like, nah, like, you bring the attention to yourself when you walk in the room because you fly. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, for
fly,
sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I have a thing with buying hats too.
And it's the fit, like, so are you more fitty cap or snapback?
I like both.
Okay.
I have an equal amount of both. I do prefer snapbacks sometimes. Well, most of the time, because of the fact that I have hair, so it's easier for me to
versus the fitted caps.
It's easy for me to like wear buns. It's easy for me to like wear my hair braided and then put it back, like loosen it up a little bit. So it's not like I'm having to stretch it or you know what I'm saying. Like this today, this is Joe Freshgood.
Shout out Joe Fresh.
Yeah, shout out Joe Fresh. He another one of the fashion people.
Facts. Man, look, Tony Baines, I don't know if you've ever heard of him, legendary producer. We've had him on the show before. He was there throughout all of these folks, like, come up. So, like, Vic Lloyd, that was
shout out to Vic, too.
Shout out Vic Lloyd, Rello. Like
shout out to Rello.
That's
crazy.
So, even just talking about, like, certain people like a Fresh Goods, like, you got to think about how this dude really did get like a copyright infringement from Rihanna.
Yeah.
For his I ain't gonna say it on air, but
I know what you're talking about.
The pieces that he had, those were so iconic, and this was like when everyone was getting into Rihanna, and Chicago folks was like, Rihanna cold.
Yeah.
We've been on the Rihanna. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So shout out to all the fashion guys. I really feel like we do not give Chicago enough credit for the fashion, bro. Like, and I mean, like,
I feel like Chicago don't give Chicago enough credit.
we look okay. Let's talk about it. 'Cause I feel like when we talk about even just like I'll just use from 2011.
Yeah.
Right. When we talk about culture, when we talk about music, when we talk about fashion, when we talk about art, Chicago has been relentlessly killing it.
Yes.
In almost every aspect. Like we don't,
Yes.
and I mean, I feel like Chief Keef is finally getting his flowers, but the world really was thirsty for anything we had after Chief Keef really like stepped foot into the world. You know what I'm saying? So it was like with the fashion, it's like you can't deny us. Like you got folks in London that's talking about they never were inspired by Chicago drill, but you're dressing like little homies from the trenches.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like y'all thinking this is a fashion statement. Like, no, like they robbed somebody for these.
And,
like,
and,
what you mean?
And,
like,
and look, and it could be, and we could be so unaware of this too because we're a little bit younger, but I feel as if, and I could be wrong about this, but I feel like Chicago has been just monumental in a lot of just like culture, like hip hop and hip hop culture in the world, just period. New York too, you know what I'm saying? But even before us, even before 2011, I feel like the 90s, Chicago was like, you know, making a move, especially with house music and dancing.
I mean, if we really want to get into it,
I feel like it was a lot.
Like, I want to say since Chess Records,
yeah,
Chicago has been undoubtedly inspiring the entire world, and we don't get our credit. You know what I'm saying? When you had Howlin' Wolf, Muddy Waters, like it was teaching these white boys that were bold enough to come out south to even like learn what it was to play blues, and then they would go up north and grab these shows, and then you know what I'm saying, you had thirsty little record executives that was like, nah, so we finna book you for these shows overseas, and these folks are doing all their thing, and you still got the guys back in Chicago still only being able to perform on the south side. But these were some of the flyest folks you've ever seen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm like. I'm like, I know Chicago has it. But I do get what you're saying though when you say, especially when 2011 and you're talking about the drill scene, you know, specifically. I mean, yeah. I do agree with that. And I was in Indianapolis and I know the whole Finally Rich album from front to back. There's no song on there that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that I was playing it back to back. Around the same time, no, I think it was a couple years before that, I knew more. I started to get more into the Chicago music scene because I was on Chance. I was on Chance. Yeah, I was on Chance. So, you know, when I heard Chance rap for the first time, I was sitting there like at the computer, at the desktop, like, yo, who is this dude? He just opened up my brain. Like, it was like, literally, like somebody sliced my brain open and a whole new world came out of it. Like, he was just crazy
in a different realm. It was almost like if you love nostalgia, if you were kind of like that kid that like didn't like school but you were smart as hell.
Facts.
If you were, you know, always getting into trouble, you know what I'm saying? It was like you was able to relate to Chance. You know what I'm saying? Like, even, I mean, first of all, 10-day, and I'm sure, you know, other schools and other cities and parts of the world have their terminologies, but for Chicago, when you hear the term 1 day, 2 day, 5 day, you know what I'm saying? Normally it's like, oh damn, like he did something crazy. But 10 days? You got suspended for 10 days? Like what did you do? You know what I'm saying? So it was like that right there was such a Chicago thing. And then it was like, and this is just me, I feel like it was 3 records. And this was like before Coloring Book, right? I feel like it was 3 records that really put him in just a different ball game. 22 Offs. If you ever heard 22 Offs, you could not ever say that Chance was not a rapper. Like, he was not an MC. Like, this dude was like, if you listen to that record, you're like, nah, this dude was born to be an MC. Yeah. Fuck you talking about? If you are any familiar with Chicago terminologies, you automatically, that just registers Like, it's a Fifi going on. There's something going on. Like,
Right.
let's see what's to it.
Right.
And you know what? I'm gonna say the original version of Hey Ma.
Okay.
The original version of Hey Ma without Lily K. Shout out Lily K though. She's amazing.
Shout out to Luca.
But the original version, I think it's only on the video. You gotta go on social media and hunt it down.
Okay.
But this is when Leaders was on Wells Street still. And so it was Caleb James, Chance the Rapper, and I almost want to say Reese from Save Money. And they did, like a little promo for like a pop-up that was happening there. But I think that was one of the only few places you could hear the original Hey Ma record. So, because it still got the Hey Ma sample.
Yeah.
But it's just him rapping.
Yeah.
And that had us thirsty for a long time. So when we got the version we got on 10 Day, we was like, what the fuck is this? It's raw.
This is not the original.
It's not what was going on. So nah, man.
You should message him and tell him to drop it.
You know what? Chance. I'm on that, bro. Get the fans what they want. Drop that original version of Hey Ma. But yeah, man, let's keep it on going.
Yeah, for sure.
So I wanted to talk about, because you brought up earlier about your skincare line.
Yes.
And that's utterly amazing.
Thank you.
It's not that easy to do, as people would think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
However, you've gotten, I would like to call them co-signs. You've gotten co-signs from Broadway. We got co-signs from Dave East. Nick Royale, right?
Yeah, Nick Royale.
Nick Royale.
Hello. Stove God.
Again, let's tell us about just that journey.
Yeah.
And like, where is it going?
Okay.
With the skincare, even skincare, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even skincare, yep. With a backwards E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about what was the origins of that.
Yeah. So the business came about. It was my sister's idea. It wasn't even my idea. My sister came up with the idea. She was a registered esthetician, and some time ago, before she kind of like went through her mental health episode, and so she came to me. She was like, "Hey, I'm gonna start this business," and I'm like, "All right, go ahead." Like, what you telling me for? You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never been into skincare a day in my life. Like, go ahead. So she's like, "No, like I want you to kind of like be the face of it." I felt like she was setting me up then. I should have known then. I should have known then. But she was like, "Yeah, no, I just want you to be the face of it. Like, I'll make you be the face of it." I'm like, "All right, cool." You know what I'm saying? Because we had been tired. We were so exhausted from going to the store, figuring out like what products worked for our skin. Like, it was just horrible. She has vitiligo, an autoimmune disease disorder, and I had dry skin eczema, so like my skin would get super dry and then literally crack. So I was like putting all of these different products on me, like Vaseline wouldn't last 5 minutes. For real, petroleum jelly. Petroleum jelly wouldn't last. Lotions were just like not working. Like, it was just like not giving it. It's not giving what it was supposed to be giving. It was a lot of alcohol and a lot of products, a lot of water and a lot of products. So she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna make it." So 2 months go by, she makes it. I try it. I'm like, she ended up going through her situation. She's like, "Hey, you're gonna have to step in." And I'm like, "I don't want to do this." I told my mama, I cried to my mama many nights. I cried to myself as well, and to God many nights. Like, "God, why are you giving me this? Like, it's not even what I prayed for. This is what my sister wanted." Not even understanding at the time that it was a blessing that he was giving me. You know what I'm saying? So, she went through her situation. She kind of never bounced back from it. So I had to take ownership of everything. And I ended up I had a dream about the recipe, which is crazy. I had a dream about the recipe. I had cried one night and I was like, "Man, God, just give me the recipe, Lord. Just give me the recipe. Just give it to me." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I need it right now. And he surely did. I asked and he delivered. And he gave me the recipe, and that's the recipe now. And now, I've had a lot of cosigns. I've had a lot of people. I have consistent customers. I have people that come up to me and literally badging me about me not being restocked. But it's so hard sometimes to stay restocked. But it's been beautiful, man. I've been able to basically make a product that puts emphasis on self-care and self-love and helps your skin, excuse me, your skin remain like supple. You know, the main um I guess you could say the main design of the product is to repair, replenish, and rehydrate the skin. You know, so I tell people to use it
That's
once.
a bar. You put on a shirt.
Thank you. But I tell people always, like, hey, like, once you get out the shower, rub it, let everything emulsify because it does have pieces of, raw butters in it. Let it emulsify, let it soak in your skin, and just enjoy it. I also have a playlist that's tied to each scent that I have, so people know what I was listening to and what I was feeling and what the vibe was when I was creating the scent, its name, and the actual scent itself.
That's like a whole.
It's a whole experience. Yeah, it's an experience. So I put the QR code on the jar so you can scan the code and it'll take you straight to the Apple playlist. So yeah, I give my customers a whole experience so that they understand how important it is to slow down when you're taking care of yourself. To really be present. So that's why I created it, and I have a lot of customers that range from, people that are diagnosed with psoriasis to dry skin eczema to eczema to the point where they have those, really, really bad rashes. Men use it on their beards. People use it on their face, although it is a body butter. And it is made of natural oils. It is natural as well. I forgot to mention that. It's natural, eco-friendly, and animal cruelty-free.
That's fire. God damn.
Yeah, I make it all by hand. I make it. I don't send it to a facility for it to get bulk made or anything like that. I make it with a lot of tender love and care. I make it with my hands, and I make it from my heart. You know what I'm saying? So when people use it, I want them to feel how my energy feels when they come around me, when they're around me, when they're in the same vicinity as me. And I usually get that. They like, no, this literally feels like you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I have a whole bunch of different scents. I have 11 scents, but I'm probably going to discontinue 5 of them. This is early release on that, but I'm probably going to discontinue 5 of them. I do have a men's line, and then I have a unisex line as well. Most scents are unisex, but the men's line is called Men Mayhem. So my ideas just roll when it comes to that business. I'm not gonna lie, and it took a long time for me to sit into the blessing, but I think I'm sitting in it right now, and I just have to be present in it and let the blessings and the hard work for itself right now.
Man, someone needs to come and I don't even know what they would do, but give you like an adventurous check, sign you to their cosmetic line or something, because we need more butters and just ointments that are safe for black and brown folks.
Yeah, for sure.
Lord have mercy, we are man, we've been talking. All right, so I got one more question and then get into our segment.
Okay.
I feel like I've seen you talk about this on your social media, but the Chicago music scene kind of as an ecosystem.
Yes, it does.
I feel like you have a lot of very unique perspectives on where it's at, where it's been, and where it's going. And I think I would love to know your thoughts on the future of the music scene and where it's headed.
I have a lot of faith in the music scene in Chicago. And I love the fact that you use the term ecosystem, because there's also a lot of different biomes within our like we have our R&B, we have our indie, we have our rock, we have our our turn up music, we have our house music, we have our hip hop, we have our boom bap, we have our let the list go on, right? We have gospel music, we have inspirational music, and then we have
they all hungry.
Everybody
hungry.
Everybody is super talented, super locked in, like literally putting their all into this, whether if it's all that they have, and to others it may not look like a lot, or if it looks like a lot to others, and whatever the case may be, people are putting their best foot forward in what they putting out, with what they have, and I love it. I was just actually talking to Mike, DFG.
Shout out Mike.
Yeah, shout out Mike. Heisman crazy. Fourth quarter pressure for you for real. But I was just talking to him. We we were just talking about, like, man, you just got to keep going sometimes. Like, even when people and people try to, like, they don't believe in you, or they think that you're not serious, or you got to keep going. But I do wish that the OGs in the game that are in Chicago, stationed in Chicago, or travel to and from other places, but Chicago is like basically they home, they from here. I wish that y'all would do like a symposium, or do panels more, that's open to the public, that people can come and really pick up the gems that they need to be successful, because y'all have the gems. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody can get some. You know what I'm saying? So you can drop the gem. It's based on or you can bring us to the water. You know what I'm saying? But it's based on it's really on us, for us to figure out if we're gonna drink the water, look into the water and just look at ourselves, or turn away and say, nah, this water not for me. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like as long as y'all bring the gems that people need, and y'all give that people that space, and that's the opportunity for that to happen, I feel like Chicago will take off. A lot of people that are talented in Chicago have to leave Chicago to make it. But Chicago in itself, like, Chicago doesn't have to be like that.
No.
People can actually, we want Chicago to get to the point that people can come here and be like, oh yeah, I went from LA to Chicago and now I'm popping. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it already happened. You just don't talk about it. I swear to God it do, but that's another conversation.
See, but that's what I'm saying. Chicago don't be well, to me it seems that way. You know what I'm saying? That Chicago don't be excuse me. Chicago doesn't support Chicago how they should. So, it's
have you back on just to talk about that, because no, we really got to get into that conversation, and it's a lot of levels to it. You know what I'm saying? We set each other up. We lie on each other sometimes. We do a lot in the name of what do they call it? The crabs in the barrel mentality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But what's so crazy about that is I think it needs to be reworked. I feel like that crabs in the barrel, like, it's a barrel with crabs, but the barrel and the crabs are made out of diamonds and pearls and rubies, because we're so damn unique. We're so rich in our culture and what we do.
That's interesting.
But it's like we can't realize it until we go somewhere else, and we damn near become the king or queen of that space. You know what I'm saying? And especially when folks find out you're from Chicago. Like, you ain't even got to be born from here, but lived here like 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, and you go somewhere else and you made somebody maybe like, where you from? And you ain't saying, oh, I'm from Baltimore. You like, man, I just moved from Chicago. What? Like, it those type of interactions where I'm just like, when people say it, I'm like, all right. But then I'll be like, nah, the people I know, yeah, we all like that. You know what I'm saying? So,
it can get a little sticky. You know what I'm saying? It really can. But and I get what you're saying when you say, like, crabs in the barrel mentality. I do feel like that. I feel like hurt people too. Like, bitter people make situations worse. So it's.
Yeah, we gotta have her back on the show, y'all. She wanna get deep. She wanna get deep at the end of the interview. Goddamn.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Because it's like, I'm not from here, but I've experienced it. I've been in a lot of different pools, especially when it comes to the creative network, and it's just interesting the type of people that you bump into, and then you see people's kind of intentions, and sometimes you don't see them sooner than later, and you get into situations and you either have to stop doing business with people respectfully, or you have to completely cut an individual off, and then that then turns into, has the possibility to turn into something else. You know what I'm saying? So I will say this though about the industry or the creative scene or the artist scene or however you want to put it. Um, I'll say this. I don't think anybody in Chicago needs to hate off of the next person. I don't think anybody needs to be jealous and be like, well, why is that person getting that opportunity and I'm not? It's okay. Because when your neighbor gets blessed, the blessing is right next door. You know what I'm saying? The blessing will come knocking on your door. So all you got to do is stay down. You know what I'm saying? Stay loyal, stay consistent. You know, because at the end of the day, if you worried about somebody else's cup, ain't no way you filling up your cup. You know what I'm saying? And you can't move. You can't do anything with a half empty cup or an empty cup. So it's like work on you, fill you up. You know, work with who you want to work with, collaborate with who you want to collaborate with, do good business. Don't try to treat people like they green. Don't try to, try to finesse people.
Treat the janitor the same way you would treat the
exactly.
director.
You never know. You never know. You know, some even strangers. You know, you gotta treat a stranger like they an angel. You can't. And I understand that Chicago is a city where majority of the mentality is survival and not love. But I do see the people trying to push love.
We trying.
Yeah.
It's slowly changing.
Yeah, slowly changing. But it takes we gotta ensure that the old heads is on board too. Which I see more and more of them is hopping on.
Reach back out to the YNs.
Yeah. Yeah, they gotta, but that's real. They gotta, especially the men, man. We gotta tap back in. And I've been seeing my, shout out to Marcus, shout out to Dave Jeff for doing, doing the, you know what I'm saying? They've been doing a lot of the men mentor situations where they've been having men in the city come out, either on a Saturday morning or Sunday morning, whatever it is. Yeah, they be having like men mental sessions and stuff for the community. Okay. I think it's either some of them are taking it, some of them are just RSVP, but they get at capacities like early, and they they'll do yoga, they do meditation, they do a whole little mini retreat basically for men in the city. So men, if y'all looking for a safe space, make sure you tap into those two names. And look up any events that they have going on, because I definitely support my brother Marcus. That's my homie, and he's so big on mental health with men, black men in Chicago. But yeah, like focus on y'all mental health though, for real. If y'all need help and reaching out, resources, don't be afraid to ask. And I have to tell myself that all the time, because I'm so used to doing everything on my own and just figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? Just figuring it out, because sometimes, we done been in situations where you didn't ask somebody after somebody was probably like, oh, just ask. And then it probably wasn't a pleasant experience after that. So, but it's okay. It's okay. It's a part of the journey. Trials is a part of the journey, because at the end of that trials come tribulation. After trials come tribulation. So, yeah, man.
Thanks, man. Cheeckey, thank you so much for coming to our show. Greatly appreciate you. We're gonna do our segment and we're gonna get out of here. It's called This, That, or Shot.
Okay.
We're not gonna make you take a shot. We've been having legends on our show the last couple episodes, so we just.
I was about to say my tequila's in the car, but my thing over there too.
Sure. I mean, we got a bottle of water. We're just gonna work with that.
Okay, cool.
But the rules of this game is simple. We're gonna give you two options.
Okay.
If you decide to choose one, you have to explain why. But if you can't choose between either one and you got to choose both, you would take a shot.
Yeah, I think I've seen this.
I was about to say,
I've seen this on Drink Champs.
No, I'm a big fan of Drink Champs.
Me too. Shout out Nori. It's so crazy.
Acknowledge this one day.
Nori liked my post.
Damn.
Yeah, Nori. Quick story. So I had went to Revolt World in 2024, and Nori walked straight past me, looked dead straight at me. I had a great clip of him, like greeting people, him walking and stuff. I posted it in the recap for Revolt World. Revolt actually shouted me out too for the real. But yeah, he liked it, and then I was like, oh thanks. He was like, so I was like, oh damn, that's crazy. Shout out to Nori.
God damn. Okay, but you ready?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So See how you gonna take this first one. Lonnie Jordan or Mike DFG?
Mm.
Can't choose. You can take a shot.
I'm gonna go with Mike.
Okay. Why?
Mike music just electrifying. Like it's electrifying.
Facts.
And I'm not listening to a lot of electrifying artists because a lot of the electrifying artists nowadays is like the Playboy Cardis, the Ken Carsons.
Shout out to them though. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, exactly
but I'm not
yeah.
on the open trail. Shout out to them, but you know, like Mike just seems more of the opposite but the same. You know what I'm saying?
Understood. Okay. Let me see here. Let me give you another one. See how well you know your fellow women MCs in the city. Linda Soul or Asha Omega?
Asha.
Okay. Why?
She's I don't know why she rhymed me in Rhapsody.
Okay. I can see that. Shout out to Rhapsody.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's her vibe or because she doesn't rap. They don't have like the same cadence, but I don't know if it's just her energy or I've never had the opportunity to actually meet her in person, but I do follow her what she's doing, and yeah, she's dope.
No, dope individual. Very dope individual.
She just opened up for someone last year, right? Earth Gang.
Mm-hmm.
I met Doc.
Damn.
I had the opportunity to meet Doc at the Clips concert.
That's wow.
Yeah, he randomly walked up on the side, and I was like, "Yo, what the heck?" I low key fangirled out. I was like, "Can I have a picture?" I was like, "Yo, can I get a picture?" Yeah, no, but fire. Doc's fire too.
Gotcha,
Love Earth Gang. Okay.
So my last one. Let's see how you do this one. It's not gonna be music.
Mm-hmm.
Leaders or success? Take a shot if you can't choose.
Well, because they kind of different.
I mean, hey, let's talk
Success is like Jimmy Jazz on steroids, and then Leaders is it's a whole different. Leaders is like
it's an aesthetic.
Yeah, it's an aesthetic. It's low key a club. It's like it kind of
Success paved. You know what's crazy? I feel like Success might have been first. Please, some no fashion Chicago guy get me.
I don't know. I think
Success might have been first.
You think Success was before Leaders?
As far as like establishing, because you know there's like a story with their addresses.
Oh,
so like
the brick and mortar.
Damn near. So I know like Success had 1435 because I think that was the original address. St. Alfred's, Ken. I don't know if you ever heard of Ken. They've been closed down, unfortunately.
Okay.
What else would I think about? Juggernaut, and Success. They all had like these addresses, so it was kind of like when they would do things throughout the years, kind of together. They would mention those addresses.
So I mean.
But you're right. Maybe it might be.
Well, look, this is the thing. I like Leaders because of their hats.
Facts.
And you know, they have a lot of dope events with Sensei, with Vic Lloyd, and Success. Shout out to Frono. That's the homie. He, you know.
Yeah, shout out Bill.
Yeah, he's always in there, you know. So that's his second home. But they have all the shoes. They be having all the shoes there. So that's hard. I think I'm a just take a shot because.
Hey, Cheeckey had to take a shot on that one. I ain't mad at that. I wouldn't have been able to choose either.
Yeah, I'm like
I don't. Both historical.
They're historical and they're kind of different, so it's kind of hard.
And low key, it kind of lets me know like how versed people are because people claim they know Chicago culture, and then I ask little things like that. I feel like you should know about the Chicago fashion boutiques.
Yeah, I do. I know, yeah.
Yeah, so no, shout out to you. You are definitely very well versed. You know what I'm saying? But thank you again so much for coming on to our show. Thank y'all so much for watching us out there. We're gonna catch y'all on the next one. Please subscribe. Please comment. Please share. Tell a homie. We're gonna be here. We're gonna catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Right now, eyes get a little high from the fentanyl bite down. Pray to the east, don't pray where you gon' be with it be when it's lights out. Flag on the plate, no time house. Niggas tryna catch it. Step. Blessed from the most high. With OG had me dressed up in bow ties. Dreams once fade to the low.